back in the gym, working on her pull-up, bang. Working on her midi, working on her mid-range game, 15 to 17 feet out, being able to create some space for herself. Yes, this looks embarrassingly slow. No, it is not in slow motion. This is just what we have to work with right now.
We got some footage from in the lab. That's right. She's in the damn gym. I'm just going to keep it real. I guess hell has frozen over, but she is in the gym practicing shots. And as you can imagine, there's real reaction to this.
Get it! Knock down! Bang!
Man, we got a fire on the poop deck. Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! 4! Bang! Mayday! Mayday! Clear the runway! Brace for impact! AR-5 coming in heavy! Bang! Look alive, sunshine. Long 2. Will it go through? Ha ha, no chance. Bang. Is it me, or is there only 2 rows behind the bench and they're like half full?
Everything about this offseason was supposed to be quiet. At least, that's what everyone assumed. Yet out of nowhere, a flood of shocking workout videos began circulating online. Some were mesmerizing, players locked in the gym, displaying crisp moves and serious dedication that instantly went viral. Others, however, felt more like staged publicity stunts meant to generate buzz without real substance. It's a tale of 2 extremes, and at the center stands Angel Reese, a once promising star whose newly leaked training video has left everyone scratching their heads. If you followed the chatter on social media, you might be sensing a strange tension in the air. The Indiana Fever are being hailed as the blueprint for true off-season development, methodically refining every detail of their games. Meanwhile, Reese's latest footage has a lot of fans wondering whether she's actually focusing on the right skills or just trying to keep up appearances. The difference between these 2 approaches might not only decide next season's success, but also define the future of a rising WNBA star. Before we dive into all of that, let's address one crucial fact. We're living in the era of viral training. A single gym clip can reach millions in just a few hours, shaping public perception almost instantly. So, how did we get here? And why is Reese's suspiciously timed workout reveal riling so many fans, coaches, and teammates? Let's break it all down. There's no question that social media has changed the off-season. Years ago, WNBA players might quietly refine their games behind closed doors, but now, every shooting drill or weight session has the potential to explode online. Supporters love behind-the-scenes glimpses, hoping to see real signs of progress, glean insider knowledge, or simply watch their favorites hustling hard. Yet this viral workout era isn't always what it seems. For some players, the camera is an occasional guest, capturing genuine effort. For others, it's a constant companion, raising questions about whether they're more focused on highlight-worthy clips than actual results. Lately, the Indiana Fever have dominated this conversation with a series of workout videos that appear genuine, thorough, and clearly structured to target each athlete's needs. Their clips look honest. You see them refining footwork, running realistic plays, and receiving immediate coaching feedback. On the other side of the equation, Angel Reese's video erupted onto the timeline. It showed her launching jump shots from the perimeter over and over with that same slow release we've seen in live games. The clip was short, the angles questionable, and the timing unbelievably convenient, coming just after the Fever's training footage had gone mega viral. So the question arises, was this just a PR move? That thought alone stirred a hornet's nest of debates online. But that wasn't the whole story. The real uproar began when fans started dissecting Reese's shooting percentages, especially her dire accuracy around the rim. If you're going to showcase your off-season grind, it might be wise to display the skills you actually need to fix the most. Did Reese's team miss that memo? While Reese's short, odd video hogged headlines, the Indiana Fever quietly kept releasing substantial updates on their progress. One clip featured Aaliyah Boston in Massachusetts working meticulously under the guidance of Keith Porter, the Fever's player development coach. He was there, hands-on, instructing her on footwork and improved finishing techniques. Another video showcased Lexi Hull drilling three-pointers and catch-and-shoot scenarios, weaving around screens, and practicing mid-range jumpers specifically designed to mesh with the Fever's style of play. It wasn't just random shooting either. The workout simulated real defensive pressure, closeouts, and the kind of spacing issues you'd see in an actual game. That's the hallmark of a training program that's genuinely invested in team success. In each clip, you notice a consistent pattern. These players are practicing the skills directly relevant to their positions and roles. A post player like Boston perfects her floater, her left-hand finishes, and her footwork in the paint, areas that matter most to her game. Guards and wings like hold dial in their outside shot for those future drive and kick situations. Even veterans like Natasha Howard and Brianna Turner can be seen running pick and roll drills aimed at capitalizing on Caitlin Clark's exceptional passing talents. It's one thing to say, we're working hard, it's another to prove it. The Fever's approach shows real depth, organization, and coaching synergy. Compare that to Reese's solitary presence in a gym with no official coaching staff in sight, and you begin to see why fans have latched onto this story. The difference in approach is so blatant, it practically begs the question, is Reese's training a legitimate plan for growth or an orchestrated social media production? The moment Reese's workout clip dropped, it felt like a rebuttal to the Fever's hype. Her PR team had teased an upcoming big reveal, but instead of a carefully crafted deep dive into her skill development, fans got a brief montage of slow jumpers. And yes, it's slow. There's no editing trick to blame here. Even supporters who want to see Reese thrive had to admit the entire thing looked forced. A 6'3" forward who struggled heavily with finishing around the basket last season was now showcasing perimeter shooting. In isolation, that might seem like a normal evolution. After all, players add range to diversify their game. But the glaring hole in her skill set remains her point-blank finishing. Every sports analyst worth their salt immediately asked, why isn't she drilling layups, working on footwork, or practicing hooks and turnarounds in the paint? The reaction from Chicago Sky fans was especially brutal. Many wondered why Reese's PR crew, rather than the team's official channels, was behind this video. Usually, if a franchise believes in a player's development, they'll highlight it across official socials. But here, the absence of any Chicago Sky coaching staff or official endorsement spoke volumes. It amplified the rumor that Reese was simply reacting to the wave of Fever content, eager to shift the narrative back onto herself, even if that meant focusing on the wrong things. All of this put Reese under a glaring spotlight. Some fans insisted people cut her slack. It's just a snippet, maybe she works on layups in private. Others remain unconvinced, pointing to a consistent pattern of PR moves overshadowing real improvement. And the conversation only heated up once her last season's stats started circulating again. Let's talk about numbers, because statistics often cut through the spin. Reese's field goal percentage from less than 5 feet hovers around an abysmal 44.5%. For a professional post player, that's nearly unthinkable. These are supposed to be the highest percentage shots in basketball. Compare that to Aaliyah Boston, who notched an efficient 55.2% from the field overall. The contrast between them is stark. When Reese's numbers get broken down further, the picture gets even bleaker. From 5 to 9 feet, her success rate plummets below 15%. That's not just a slump, it screams a lack of fundamental technique, whether it's footwork, hand positioning, or general shot selection. Perhaps even more telling is that a significant chunk of her rebounds come from collecting her own misses, artificially inflating her rebounding stats. Hustle is great, but if you're consistently missing point-blank attempts, that hustle becomes a self-perpetuating cycle of inefficiency. Fans see these stats and watch Reese's new video. They see the same mechanical flaws in her jump shot, the low release point, the awkward push from the chest, the crossing of the wrists mid-shot. Coaching experts have singled out these issues for years, yet they remain present with no sign of real correction. But the controversy doesn't end with Reese's purely personal troubles. There's a bigger structural conversation swirling around the WNBA, involving wasted potential and poor developmental choices in the early years of a player's career. Reese's approach, or lack thereof, might serve as a cautionary tale for any rookie who thinks star status alone can keep you in the league. The second season in the WNBA often reveals who's here for the long haul. Opponents have had a year to scout new players, find weaknesses, and craft defensive strategies tailored to exploit those vulnerabilities. If you're an inside player with shaky finishing, rest assured the entire league knows it now. Look at Caitlin Clark for a perfect counterexample. She lit up the league in her rookie year but still recognized defensive schemes that caused her trouble, particularly intense pressure on the perimeter and physical play at the rim. This offseason, Clark's training videos show her absorbing contact on drives, polishing her mid-range pull-up, and refining her handle under defensive pressure. Each drill directly addresses a weakness. That's how you stay ahead of the curve in professional basketball. Reese's path looks different. Last season, defenders realized she wasn't a consistent threat around the rim and often forced her into awkward finishes. Instead of honing that area to become unstoppable in the paint, Reese's publicly revealed workouts suggest a focus on perimeter shooting. The mismatch is so glaring, it's almost as if the real problem is being willfully ignored. This is where a second-year player either evolves or risks stagnation. The WNBA has a long history of top picks who never found that next gear, overshadowed by new talents that arrived ready to adapt. Fans, analysts, and even casual viewers are now wondering if Reese is heading toward that fate. But that wasn't all people questioned. The conversation also veered into brand deals, fame, and whether Reese's marketing potential outweighs her on-court contributions, especially in a league where roster spots are shockingly limited. Open up any online fan forum, and you'll find heated debates about Reese. One side claims that marketing is part of the modern game. Having a big social media following can raise the league's profile, bring in sponsors, and expand the audience. The other side bluntly argues brand deals and hype won't fix layup issues. The tension is real, and it reflects a changing WNBA landscape where stars gain popularity for both athletic feats and viral moments. Then there's the rumor mill around Chicago. Whispers suggest friction between Reese's personal PR ambitions and the team's desire to see her commit to proven training regimens. Some fans fear she's on a self-promotional path that may clash with the more disciplined development approach championed by the Sky staff. A few have gone so far as to suggest Reese's role might be diminished if she doesn't address her fundamental problems, speculating that the team could rely on other, more efficient post players. In the meantime, the Fever fans are giddy. They've watched their franchise quietly accumulate a roster loaded with potential, and now they have tangible evidence of real off-season progress. The wave of enthusiastic comments on social media shows an emerging optimism. This is no fluke. It's an intentional transformation. Could that overshadow Reese's hype? Possibly. The season will be the ultimate test of who truly advanced and who just filmed a highlight reel for likes. And as everyone keeps pointing out, the WNBA is less forgiving than ever. There's no hiding from your weaknesses when your every game is scrutinized by fans hungry for success. Let's take a step back. The best WNBA players, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, Tamika Catchings, didn't just appear on the scene fully formed and unstoppable. They adapted season after season, anticipating how defenses would adjust and refining their weaknesses until those shortcomings turned into new strengths. Longevity isn't an accident, it's the result of continuous evolution. Caitlin Clark seems to be following that roadmap perfectly, addressing her glaring issues from year one and layering new weapons into her arsenal. Angel Reese, by contrast, is on a precarious path. If she doesn't change course and start tackling her interior finishing woes, that second-year slump could become more than a slump. It might redefine her entire reputation. That's what's so perplexing. Reese has had access to basketball legends like Lisa Leslie and Shaquille O'Neal, who publicly mentioned how important it is for her to polish her inside game. Their advice was straightforward: fix your layup mechanics, footwork, and finishing touch before worrying about anything else. Yet the public workouts we see suggest she's ignoring that counsel. The WNBA's track record shows that marketing hype can fade fast if performance lags. You can't stay relevant in this league on star power alone. Reese risks becoming a cautionary statistic, the player who entered with massive buzz and never sorted out the most fundamental aspects of her role. Here's the underlying question: does Reese have enough self-awareness or the right guidance to pivot right now? Or will she double down on long jumpers that do little to address her biggest flaws? While the Indiana Fever build a foundation that could propel them into multiple playoff appearances or even a future dynasty, Reese's narrative might be inching toward a harsh wake-up call. The tension in this offseason is undeniable. On one hand, we have the Indiana Fever showing us how a meticulously planned, targeted offseason regimen can revive a franchise and elevate individual players to the next level. On the other, we see Angel Reese filming questionable training snippets that spotlight weaknesses in her game and raise more questions than answers. It's easy to dismiss all this as mere off-season buzz, but the WNBA isn't known for idle chatter. There's a reason so many fans, analysts, and even casual observers are laser focused on who's doing what right now. This league is ultra competitive, and your second season can make or break you. If Reese doesn't radically shift her approach, starting with the fundamentals, she may find herself eclipsed by the next wave of hungry, better prepared players. Think about what's at stake. Reese's brand is enormous. Her marketing potential is immense, but no sponsor can hide the stat sheet if she continues to miss layups or fires up ill-advised perimeter shots she can't convert. Meanwhile, teams like the Fever aren't just capturing the off-season social media crown, they're building a cohesive strategy designed for long-term contention. Only time will reveal whether Reese can course-correct in time. Will she surprise us all by unveiling a refined close-range game? Or will her next viral moment feature yet another shaky three-pointer that no longer fools defenders? Ultimately, the off-season grind sets the tone for the rest of a player's career. And for Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and the entire WNBA, the stakes have never been higher. What do you think? Will Reese heed the warning signs and focus on what truly matters, or continue chasing highlights at the expense of real progress? Let that question linger as we gear up for another adrenaline-charged season. Whatever happens, it's bound to be a spectacle, and you won't want to miss a second of it. And if you're as intrigued as the rest of us, remember to subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay tuned. The next wave of WNBA drama is just around the corner, and it might be even more jaw-dropping than anyone anticipates.